And if we can turn off the screen share and get everybody on the screen, it will be helpful. How do we get everybody on the screen?
Yeah, you just have to press the view button and go to the grid view. It's a local one. Actually.
I am not able to figure that thing out now. Okay, there we go. Yeah, okay. That is really awesome. All right, folks. Questions for Sakuba. There you go. A lot of questions. Okay, I think we need to moderate this. Please raise your hand using the Zoom link. Zoom. You have an option to raise hand somewhere there, right?
Don't know where the hand raise. Oh, reactions.
Okay, I'll monitor. You raise your hand like this. I'll monitor and we will go one at a time. There you go, Gunds.
Gundu.
See, Sakuba, when you hear my name, you're laughing, right? That's good, because I want to tell you that your butterflies are not in your stomach anymore. Okay.
The fearlessness that you talk, Gunds, I mean, you have talked about being fearless. I mean, having an attitude of fearlessness. And now that the recording is off, I can tell you that, I don't have a fear of death. I'm okay, tomorrow if I die. But I do have a fear of, giving a lecture. And
I think you were extremely courageous because it was so honest and sincere, and it was very beautifully expressed. So,
for the record, Sakuba, we have captured what you said on recording as well in this Q&A.
That's okay.
All right.
Yeah. So, question, Sakuba, when you said, that you are just an instrument, and it was very nicely expressed by you. I had two questions actually. One is, when I find it easy when we talk in our group about we are an instrument. There's only so much control you have, so act on the things that you have control over, and so on. But we do get into either discussions with friends and family, or somebody, or even at work, when something goes wrong, or so many different types of situations, right? How do you reconcile that when you can't tell somebody, okay, hey, I'm just an instrument at that point? It's not a practical way to handle. So how do you reconcile that? That I'm just an instrument kind of thinking. And then the second question I had was, you say that you have not succeeded in meditation. I want to know what you actually mean by that, because I think I don't know if I've succeeded or not, but hearing you say that was very honest. I think I really want to dig into that a little more.
So maybe I'll take the second question first, because so when I say I've not succeeded in meditation, when I sit and when I have to uh, you know I know I've attended Guntax's meditation sessions, guided meditation sessions, and so on, but I'm not able to really concentrate. I know I had to put my thoughts. I mean, at least in the initial stages, we were asked to put our thoughts in the parking lot, and then as and when it comes, and so on. I still, I start from somewhere, and then completely I go, absolutely I go somewhere else. I'm not able to focus. So and then suddenly I remember, and then I come back to this whole thing, but by the time my thought has gone from at least some 10 different directions, it has gone, and then I'm able to bring it back, and then that stays for only a very short time, and then I go into a thing. So maybe this japa based meditation, chanting one, I think that can be uh, this thing, because I will also be saying something, because otherwise if I just close my eyes and my mind just wanders. So and regarding my first question, yeah, I know it is not it's not easy, especially remembering that at that point of time, that I'm not the wielder, I'm only an instrument. But I just keep, I use only one this thing, that have I put the, have I put the right efforts into it? And if I have put, I don't have to, I can't do anything more than that. I think that's the only thing that I do to satisfy myself, or that's what I discuss with my kids too, actually. When they come back with some problem, that have you put the right effort? If so, if you have to, if it is, you will get what you deserve, is what I feel.
Thank
Oh,
you,
that's great. Thank you.
Sonali.
Yeah, so Sakuba, regarding your meditation question, you were concerned that you talked about. So I want to share some personal experience regarding that. Long back, about 20 years back, I learned some transcendental meditation at workplace in Delhi. So there we were taught, like, I mean, once you sit for meditation, your thoughts will wander away in 10 different directions. But as soon as you realize that your thoughts are drawn away, and you bring back your concentration to what you're meditating on, whether it's mantra or breath or whatever it is, that is what matters. And you have to keep doing this repeatedly, and for days and months, until very soon you'll find that you're this state of deeper meditation, where you're only focused on breath and there are no thoughts, will come after days and months of practice, where after you have tried to be conscious that your thought has wandered away, and you're bringing your awareness back to your breath or mantra, whatever it is. So it's a matter of practice, I would say.
I know I will practice. That's why I said, maybe it
Because
is.
this is very normal. I did it. I've been doing it, although not very regularly. But when I sit for meditation, I think I'm hardly for, if I sit for 20 minutes, hardly for 3 or 4 minutes, probably I'm meditating over my breath. And the remaining 15 minutes, my thought is here and there. But after that, I feel much more fresher. And if you keep doing that, I don't get to meditate very regularly. But if you keep doing it, slowly you'll find that time period has increased.
That is nice,
That
Sonali. That's really good. Good feedback on that. I've got two hands raised here. Let's go with alphabetical order. Arun Kanchi.
Thanks, Kuntax. Hey, Sakuba, that was a really good one, man. You, did a, simplistic way of presenting and also kept the time. Congratulations on that. I had two questions. If you could, elaborate a little bit on the Opus to Gita connection. That would be great. And also, if you can remind me what FIR,
Okay.
check the progress. I didn't know. I might have heard it before, but forgot what it was. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a very powerful. At least I heard it from Kishore, and this is the F stands for frequency. Let's say we are talking about suppose you get you are trying to watch anger, so you want to see what is the frequency with which you are getting you are getting angry. So that's the first one. So is it every day, every week, every month, and so on. So that's frequency is one thing. The second is, okay, when it happens, what is the intensity of that? Do I become like a bull in the china shop, or I'm able to control it? So that's the second one, the intensity of that feeling. In this case, anger. The third is the recovery time. Okay, I got angry. Maybe it was very intense, but I was able to recover quickly. I was I was not sitting and brooding over it for days and weeks and months. And if I use and I think this is such a powerful, simple and powerful concept that you can actually try to do this for almost any of your feelings. So is the frequency in the right direction? Is the intensity in the right direction? And is the recovery in the right direction?
And he has his second question about Opus.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So what was the question about Opus? Sorry.
If you could just elaborate the connection between Opus and Gita.
No. So as I said, Opus, in Opus, we believe that, food has to be cooked fresh, okay, and the food has to be cooked in the vegetables. It can also be extended to meat. Vegetable or meat's own juices. So you don't really. I mean, the taste of Opus food doesn't come from the extra masalas and the cream and other things that you add, and it actually the natural flavor of the fruit or the meat has to come by cooking it in a particular way. We use basically the pressure cooker based cooking, right? So the connection for me was that in that the verse that I was talking about, chapter 17 verse 10. So it talked about such a this thing, so not in so many words, but it talks about cooks which are in Opus, overcooking something is such a grave thing that we completely shun. Actually, I mean, we don't. If I cook something, it has to even retain the color and texture, even after the cooking, not like completely overcooking. And when I read this, it talks about the same thing almost. Cook foods which are not overcooked, or overcooked, putrid, and other things, are for the ignorant. It's not a direct one-to-one connection, but that's a connection that I made actually.
No, that's a beautiful connection. Actually, I think in one of the lectures I've heard, it says that food that is cooked and eaten after 4 hours or kept in the fridge, heaten up and eaten, causes actually, the tamasic guna to get inside, the lethargic guna to get inside. So what you say, the connection is perfect in my view. Thank you for that. So I've got next hand VP Rajesh raised up here. So VP, go on.
Thanks, Guntex. Awesome presentation, Sakuba. Loved it. In fact, your presentation reminded me how much you inspired me during the early months when I was also struggling with the concepts. And you would be the one who would ask it, and then I would just tag along with your question and get some of my doubts out of the way. So thank you for all that. One question and one comment. My question is, I got a bit of your 2 arrows example, but I would love to hear that again. And then I'll come back with my comment.
Yeah, so that's a very simple, or a powerful one. So whenever we are hurt, they say that there are actually 2 arrows involved. So one is the actual action of the world. So as I was saying, it could be that I've lost somebody close to me, or I've received a bodily injury, and so on. So it could be that particular piece is not in my control, right? If I go and I fall, that's not in my control. So the second arrow is the one that actually causes more pain, and that is in your mind. I mean, it is the action of the first arrow in your mind. So we have heard from, I think, Alpana, somebody talked about how people with, I mean, even Sri Ramakrishna, when he was suffering from cancer, also they don't feel that suffering. So cancer cannot be avoided. So that's the action, or that's the first arrow. So that, based on whatever karma and other things, he has got that. But how he, I mean, did it cause the pain, in his mind? The first arrow, in this case cancer, did it cause him so much pain that this thing? So I would say a soul like that would have handled it in a much better way, unlike me. So
Got
the
it.
second
Got
arrow
it.
is the mind
No,
part.
that's wonderful.
Yeah.
And my only comment was on fasting. Chaturmasa, the way Rajesh made us do us last year. I think it's more than fasting. I think it's a way of becoming more sattvic. So I think you will enjoy the journey when we start in June or July, whenever it starts this year. All right. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else? Any more questions? Vivek, there you go.
So Sakuba, I think you and I need to merge. I mean, we were wingies back then, because you have the content, I have the confidence. So I think we need to explore a little merger of our capabilities. Excellent, very well done.
Right, Mahesh, I saw you raise your hand. Mahesh, did you raise your hand? Do you want to ask a question or?
Yeah. Yes. Hi, Sakuba. It's a nice presentation. Excellent. Somehow, I don't know. Don't like to call you Sakuba. It's Sathya is much better. More close to Satvik. So that is one. I would like to understand two things one thing mainly from you. You said we have no major role to play. On one side, and second side, you also said that we have Satvik, Rajas, and Tamas Guna controlling us. And on the other side, you also said that you have the current situation in control. So if these two are not reconciled for me, if you have already Rajas, Tamas, or Sattva Guna ingrained in you, so that means you are already in control of these gunas. On the other hand, you are telling that you are control of the present situation. How is this done? One. Second thing, this conversation was so serious, so I thought I'll add a bit of comic joke in this. Sorry?
Sorry, I think your voice was breaking, so I was not hearing completely, but, I'll just answer, from whatever I understood. So yes, we are a combination of the three gunas, and, the more but then I was born with certain combination, and I can make changes, through my lifestyle and other things. I can, change that composition, right? So that way I was born in a probably when I was born, it was not in my control. But what I do, by way of living a sattvic life and removing my tamasic and rajasic gunas from me, I can actually change the composition and bring it under control. So I think we can take it offline in the interest of time otherwise.
Right. Last question for Sakuba before we transition to Alpana.
Hey, it's not a question, but I just want to say I really like Mahesh saying I like calling you Sathya instead of Sakuba. I'll just leave it at that. But it's so hard for people like me or Vivek to say Sathya.
Yeah, I also thought about it, and the first thing I'm going to change in my mobile phone, I'm going to change his name to Sathya.
No, but I still call you Guntax, right? So then I should change it to Rajesh Singapodu. So I don't.
No, it's just a joke. Just go ahead.
What is the background